iGaming Geek here with my wife, Angela, and we have a special video today because we're going to be doing an interview, and I've asked my Patreon supporters for their questions to ask Angela, especially what it's like being a non-gamer married to a gamer like myself. So we're just going to be going through some of these questions, and let's start off with some easy stuff. Enrique Avalos is asking, how did we meet?
We were lab partners in a physics class at the University of Washington.
That's right, physics. So that's a nerdy thing that connects us a little bit, is that we met in a physics class.
Except for I was not a nerd.
Yes, that's going to become apparent as we walk through these questions. All right, JJ Austrian asks, did Bum, and that's my name actually, Gaming Geek's name is Bum, did Bum wear a costume when he proposed to you? What about at the wedding? Was I wearing a cape?
He was not wearing a costume when he proposed to me, but he dressed nice and didn't wear like a gamer shirt. And at the wedding, he wore a tux without tails or a cape.
Did I have coattails?
No, you didn't.
Without
Yeah,
tails. Without tails. Okay. Here's another question. When you first met me, did you have any idea that I was a gaming nerd? And if not, when did you realize that I was into gaming?
I didn't know you were a gaming nerd, but you were really unique. And actually, you didn't start gaming a lot till after we were married.
Yeah, because I think when we first met in
We met in
91, I was a junior in college, and were you a junior too?
Yes.
Okay. I had played Dungeons & Dragons in college, but that was my freshman year.
Not ever around me.
Yeah, you didn't even know that I played D&D, right?
He was very unique though, not very unique. He had long hair and wore this jean jacket with patches all over it and strands of hair braided down it, and yeah, he was just very artistic and unique. I mean, everybody kind of who observed you knew that. So I don't know if that was geeky or not, but that was unique.
And then, in contrast, how were you clothed, or how did you present yourself?
Well,
in college?
I worked full-time after school, so I was always professionally dressed. And the funny thing is, most people would have perceived me as a sorority girl, which I'm not at all. And Bum is artistic and unique.
You keep saying unique.
I know, but that's a nice way to say.
Does that mean you were more mainstream or more normal, quote, normal?
I mean, I never thought of myself either way, but yeah, more normal, and you were just yourself. So was I.
Okay, well, considering that we were so different, then how do you think we ended up being together?
Maybe it works because we are so different, and that we can complement each other, and yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Roy Ramos asks, are your parents disappointed that you married a bum?
My parents love him. He's a good guy, so they've never been disappointed. So.
But tell them about what your dad or your grandpa used to call me.
Well, my grandfather, it was hard of hearing for one, but the other thing is that he just didn't, I think he didn't want to be offensive, but he always called him Bump. And he would ask me, how's your friend Bump doing?
Stephen asks, and we have 3 children, which one of your kids is most like your husband, and how so?
My son, for sure, I would say. He loves gaming. He loves Pokemon. He's very creative and unique. He's not afraid to be himself. Our youngest daughter, she's just a daddy's girl, so she would like to be like that, but I think for sure our son is more like that. And our youngest daughter loves to cosplay, and then the middle daughter doesn't let her dad be around her right now. She's a teenager in high school, and he embarrasses her at every turn, so.
Go away. Stop.
He doesn't get to be anywhere in public with her right now.
Richard McBain asks, what is your favorite thing about living in St. Louis? Well, first tell them where you come from.
We met in Seattle at the University of Washington. I was born and raised in Seattle. It's a completely different city culturally. It's a completely different city politically. And it took a long time for St. Louis to become home. I think now I like it because it's more of a small town feel, and there's a lot of things accessible and free to do. It's a great place to raise a family. And we just have a community now and friends around that we enjoy. So I think any place becomes home where you have people around that make it home.
Michael Hansen asks, if you were to pick any hobby activities your husband does, which would you pick to take part?
To take part in?
Yeah, out of all the gaming stuff that I do.
Oh, the gaming stuff. I mean, Bum can answer that for you. I don't really game with him.
Yeah, because what's the last game we played together?
Well, you got mad at me because I was so disinterested. I don't remember that game with the kids, and me and Maya weren't very interested.
Oh, I tried to get her to play Everdell, which I think is a fairly accessible game, and it has cute pictures of animals in it. So I tried to get, especially my middle daughter and Angela, to play, and Angela really didn't enjoy it at all. Is that true?
Yeah, but I think I'm okay with that because, I mean, Bum doesn't enjoy going to coffee shops with me or, hanging out, like reading or socializing with friends in that way. But I think our hobbies, and I like that he has the gaming hobby. I think that he's creative and needs a lot of outlets, and it keeps him busy and happy. And so I enjoy his hobby for him, but I think he wishes I would play with him sometimes.
That's because I hear about all of you guys who have spouses that maybe not as intensely will play very complicated games that we all like, but at least we'll try some of them.
Well, and I even like when he plays with his friends, games with his friends, because then I get kind of a free night to do the things I enjoy. Maybe I'd go to a gaming convention sometime, but...
Really? You would go to Gen Con with me?
I would go into the convention for like one day of it. And then I would go do my own thing the rest of the days in whatever city we were in. So
JJ Austrian asks, how many times has Bum tried to force you to watch The Mandalorian?
He hasn't. I think I've watched parts of it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I would be open to watching Mandalorian, maybe.
And can you name any of the Star Wars movies? The titles of the Star Wars movies?
Return of the Jedi, The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars.
Oh, that's good. That's more than I thought. And have you seen any of the newer Star Wars movies?
No.
Not at all. What about Star Trek?
No, never.
And do you have any idea what reference this t-shirt is?
'Tis but a scratch. A scratch? Your arm's off. No, it isn't.
No.
Monty Python?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, he has so many nerdy shirts, like I just...
All right, Trace Hayden asks, what did you think when your husband's How to Make a Gaming Table video went viral? Did you think your husband was going to go all in like he has with his YouTube channel?
I thought it was cool that it went viral. I think more of the kids and our niece and nephew were really stoked that he was viral. They've always wanted to go viral, so they think Uncle Bum is cool now. But
what I mean, the table video is really what opened up my YouTube channel. I don't think I would have had a YouTube channel, a gaming channel, unless this went viral.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the whole thing that I have a YouTube channel now?
I love that you have a hobby that keeps your creative energy going. So there's a lot of the nerdy nephews and stuff like that think Uncle Bum is super cool. So
yeah, especially now since it seems like being a nerd doesn't have the negative stigma that it used to have when we were growing up back in the 70s, right? Like if you're a nerd, you were really ostracized, but now, especially with people like Bill Gates and Silicon Valley, people succeeding as being a nerd or a geek or being super smart, that's become more of a normal thing. Even TV shows like Big Bang Theory that has normalized nerdiness or nerd culture, it seems like it's more well accepted, do you think?
So I guess it's just more of a cool thing to be a nerd.
Yeah. But back in my day, it was geeky and not popular, so the fact that Angela married me was a good thing. All right, Todd Clark asks, which of Bum's hobby tools, for example, 3D printers, lasers, paints, do you like or dislike the most?
I think I like the laser printer the most. I like making home decor and stuff like that. The 3D printers only drive me crazy because there's like 3 of them going at any given time. And when he used to work in the office before COVID, like they'd all start beeping and having mishaps or need to be reloaded. And I had to step away from my job to try to figure out how to fix them or call him on the phone.
So a couple of you asked this question, but I think Jared Sneed's wife actually asks, how do you handle all of the stuff? The 3D printers, by the laser cutter, all the games, all of the miniatures.
I don't mind it because it's only in the basement. I think there's kind of maybe it was spoken at one time, but an unspoken rule. Like this space is his. He can do with what he wants with it. Doesn't mean I don't covet the space because I'd like a home gym or I'd like to remodel it into kind of a nicer decor area than just like a gaming nerd dungeon. But it's his space and I'm okay with it because it stays in that space. So
yeah, we basically negotiated that the basement is my space and the rest of the house is your space, right?
And the kids even say, Dad's is the basement and the rest of the house is Mom's.
Everyone knows what my hobbies are, but what are some of your hobbies, and do I ever take part in your hobbies?
Well, my top hobbies might be reading and going to coffee shops and exercising and working out. We both like to exercise and work out. Traveling. We both like to travel. Love to travel. I love going and hanging out in coffee shops. But because he doesn't, I don't really like going with him, and so
Why don't I like going to coffee shops?
he never lingers anywhere. He can't. I mean, part of the thing I like about his gaming hobby is like he has too much creative energy and it needs to be funneled somewhere. And sitting in a coffee shop, he can't do that.
Get restless.
He gets restless, and then he kind of drives me crazy when he's restless. So I like gardening. I like decor. I like fashion. Like sometimes I want you to like not to go out and wear something kind of hip or something, and
Yes.
once in a while you do that.
Yeah, once in a while. Maybe for our anniversary I'll dress up.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
Richard McBain asks, if you could learn one skill or trade that you've always wanted to learn, what would it be and why?
I would love to learn to play tennis, and I don't even know if you would ever do that with me.
Yeah, I don't know if I would play tennis. It feels like golf, you know?
No, it feels more active than
Yeah,
golf,
yeah,
for
definitely
sure.
more active than golf. I would do it mostly to bond. Last question. JJ Austrian asks, every month, Bum gives away several Gaming Geek gratitude gifts to his Patreon supporters. Does Bum give you several gifts each month?
Oh no. No.
See, you guys are
No.
getting better love than even my
I
wife.
think when we were dating, once in a while he'd get me. I mean, he does. He has to know what I want.
That's a huge problem is because she's so particular about the kind of clothes that she likes, I can't just randomly buy.
But he doesn't get me flowers or.
No, not really.
I mean, like sometimes when we were dating, we were a little bit romantic like that. But my birthday's coming up, so maybe you guys can, like the wives who watch or whatever, they can give some comments and some helpful.
Although
hints.
you're getting a very nice gift.
Well,
for
because
your
I
birthday.
asked for something
Yes.
specifically for my birthday. That's what I've learned, that he has to do that too. So
Yeah, because, my kids or Angela have no idea what kind of gaming stuff that I would like, so it's very particular. So it goes both ways, right?
it does go both ways.
Yeah.
I mean, we accept each other in a good way.
That's right, we do.
So
Yeah, in our marriage works, I think, because we do have our separate hobbies and we don't have to do everything together. We know a couple of other married couples where they do everything together, but
I think we would drive each other crazy if we had to do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not threatened by his gaming. I love that he loves it. And he's creative, and a lot of people are in awe of him. So I think it's kind of.
And out of all the things that I could be dumping money into, gaming is relatively benign. It's not like I am, renovating old cars, classic cars, or anything like that would cost way more. So anything else that you want to say to our Patreon supporters as well as YouTube and other gamers? You want to encourage them, especially for those of us who might have wondered if we were ever going to get married or ever find a girlfriend or anything like that.
You want me to give advice on
Yeah,
that?
sure. Just a word of encouragement, right? Because I ended up being able to get married and have kids, right? Procreate as a nerd.
I didn't know that was a worry for some people, but I mean, I love him for who he is, and yeah, he's a good guy. So what you see is the real deal. So
Oh, thank you, honey.
anyways.
All right, well, thanks so much for listening. Definitely like if you like this video, subscribe, and check out my Patreon page where, as we mentioned in the video, there is a gratitude gift that is given to Patreon supporters every month. So check that out in the links below. Thank you again, Angela, for being willing to be able to speak on my channel. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Let me look at something first before you start. Like, what is it on already?
Yeah, but I'm gonna edit.
goes nothing.
Okay.